We are back again, finally, with another episode of my Arizona Cardinals Draft to Glory Franchise Mode Series. We are finally over being sick, thank God, and it's time to get this show back on the road. It's another important draft for us as we look to hopefully start turning things around here in terms of getting a winning record and eventually finding ourselves in the postseason. For now, though, we are going to jump right into it. As far as the results of the poll that we left off with, it was a landslide. Vincent Wilson is going to be the pick. Hopefully he will be, and he very well should be, the true number one wide receiver that we need alongside Farrell, Jenkins, Mack. And this probably does signal Marshall moving back over to tight end. But Vincent Wilson is the pick. Just how good is he? Pretty good is the answer. He is, by overall, at the very least, our top wide receiver. Quick development at 22 years old. 10th in true talent, we get him 8th. I'm not complaining. That's pretty damn solid. Fast, 95 jumping with 92 spectacular catch at 6'2", which is just ridiculous. Need to improve the hands, need to improve the route running. Aggressive catch as well is such a strong trait to have. I think we got our guy. I think we got exactly who we needed. So Vincent Wilson, welcome aboard. That was fairly easy. That was straightforward. That was the decision that you guys made for me. But from this point onward, I need to make sure that I hit the mark here with these selections. So let's see who is still on the board. We have a couple of quarterbacks that I'm not all that worried about. 2 running backs. Now we do have the issue of Hughes having been fairly severely injured, but of course picking up Reynaud and trying to develop him, it would be nice to pick up Marquise Keel, but let's be honest, we can't really focus on him. Wide receiver wise, Enoch Pellerin would it be? Which is just a ridiculous name. Has good hands. 6'5", decent vert jump as well, but the speed, the agility, not quite there. I think we need to look elsewhere, although shout out to Judah Beasley and Tate Hand, who I'm actually going to look at. Beasley, not looking that great at all. And Tate Hand, great name, not that bad. Maybe we could pick him up later on. Tight end wise, now obviously, again, if we move Marshall back over, we have Bentley and Bates, so we don't necessarily need a tight end. Antoine Henderson, you would have to be can't miss, and I don't know if you're that. Fairly well-rounded, C+ in catching. Probably not going to be anything too special. I doubt Rob Pollock, going with Pollock, and Beckett Reed are in that same class. Now, offensive line-wise, while we do have at least one player for each position, the O-line has been a weak point, so finding help here would be fairly crucial. Ben Stevenson, 22-year-old, agile, but with a strong bench as well. Immediately looks to be a decent pick. Will McCoy, 23 years old, a bit more of a power game. He certainly doesn't top Stevenson. Harris Larson, the grades are a little bit better in terms of having 3 B- rather than a C+, but he's agile, even though the combine results aren't showing agility and it's showing more strength. So I'd still probably lean towards picking Stevenson. Left guard, a third-round projection in Campbell Wims. I can't read. Could be decent, probably not worth taking him this early, though. It's tough to say. He is very well-rounded, though, at 23 years old. I was kind of hoping that there'd be someone here who fell out of the first round. That is not the case. So to me, Stevenson right now is probably the favorite, unless somebody can make an impact here. So Denard Jefferson, very strong as a power rusher. Top skills are a little bit weak. I'd still lean towards taking the offensive lineman. Spencer Booth as well, who is projected for the second round. Solid as a speed rusher. I think Stevenson is our guy here. Like I said, unless there's someone who just can't miss. Tyler Saunders is not that. And in general, it's not the strongest draft. Okay, there's the one guy. There's the one guy who could change this. We do need another safety to replace McIntosh. A.J. Ross has to be the pick. He has to be. The speed, the agility, the vert jump. We need A.J. Ross. I know we need offensive line help, but there look to have been other options, it has to be A.J. Ross. And he'll probably end up playing strong safety as opposed to free safety alongside Griffith. So Ross is going to be the pick, and Ross was the right pick to make. No doubt about it. 78 overall at 21 years old. Quick development, 22nd in true talent. We get him at 40th in the draft. AJ, welcome aboard. How we managed to get a player of your caliber, I'm honestly not sure, but I will gladly take it. Unfortunately, I could live to regret that, but I feel like with that extra help, the extra options on the O-line, we should still be able to get somebody half decent, especially if that left guard or center is still available. Will McCoy is also available still, too. I saw him there. All right, it's probably going to be Will McCoy who ends up being the pick here, unfortunately. Still not a bad option, but time will tell. That could go down as another somewhat controversial pickup that we go with a safety as opposed to an O-lineman, but I'm feeling pretty good about the choice. And yeah, to me right now, I mean, granted, these are all third-round projections. I was trying to see if there's anybody else left who was a second-round projection. I think it's probably got to be Will McCoy, although I don't expect him to be anything great. The top skills aren't that impressive. The bench itself isn't that impressive. But unless there's somebody better, the agility for Chris Moore, but I don't trust him at all to the point where I'm actually going to take him off the list. Connor Barrett out of Boise State. Not bad. Not bad. He could be worth taking later. Patrick Unk. As far as the power game is concerned, not too bad, but I obviously like Barrett a little bit more. I'm going to take him out of there. Griffin Katani. Agility based, but man, that bench is just way too low. Way too low. Taking him out of there as well. And CJ Harrell. I mean, has the agility, but again, I feel like the bench is just a little bit too low, to be honest. I mean, Barrett was at 34. I'd like him to be at least 30, so maybe we will avoid taking McCoy. I'm not overly sold on him, to be honest, and Barrett was looking a little bit better. Let me take a look at who else is here. Chance Kramer, hell of a name, and could be a hell of a pick. And we could get him in the next round, more than likely. Blake Ramirez, also looking pretty damn good. Will Hartman, not so much. We'll immediately take him out of there. We have a ton of right tackles available. Anton Kirby will not be selected. Ryan Reyes will obviously not be selected. Matt Sylvester, get the hell out of here. Brady Anand. Rashawn Hamilton. All right, so I think we know who we are going to consider because these combine results were god-awful for the right tackles. I think more than likely we try to get Barrett and Kramer or Ramirez as well, 2 out of 3. So is there anybody else who is absolutely worth taking? Again, we don't need a quarterback. A backup quarterback would be fine, but it's not exactly a necessity because, again, trading just isn't a factor. So wide receiver-wise, again, there was Beasley and Hand. I wasn't really impressed with either of them. Beasley's just a bit too slow. He has the hands, but he's just a bit too slow. And Tate Hand's a little bit better, but the hands aren't quite there. Don't really need a wide receiver anyway. No one that's blow away in terms of like, oh my god, we have to take this guy. Niron Hayward, great name. Decent speed as well for a speed rusher. In terms of the defensive line, could still use a little bit of help. Obviously, we moved linebackers to the edge to help out there, and that certainly improved our defense. Is there anybody else here? Mitchell Griffin. I mean, he's okay. He's fairly well-rounded. I might just swing for the fences here in terms of the O-line. Unless Kevin Spillman is worth taking, and in my opinion, he's a bit too slow. I know he's a zone option, but I feel like if anyone gets free, we're screwed. The vert jump also isn't that great. So screw it. Let's take our chances with the O-line here. I'm going to take Blake Ramirez because I think he has the best chance of being off the board. So Blake Ramirez out of Texas. Let's hope for the best here. I'm hoping for mid-70s, really, just to give us another option. And that is the steal of the day. Maybe not, but that's exactly what we needed. 77 overall, 22 years old, quick development, 32nd in true talent. We get him at 72. That is a massive, massive pickup for the offensive line, especially in the third round. Blake Ramirez, welcome. Welcome. And so far, so good for this team. We get the help at wideout, safety. God damn you, San Francisco. Oh, that sucks, man. We were one pick away from getting Chance Kramer. He was going to be my next pick by far. Wow. Yeah, the offensive line disappeared. Holy shit. So 2 guys who were projected in the 5th round go off the board before we even hit the midway point of the 4th round. And that is devastating. At the very least, we did get a little bit of help. But I can't believe that both of those O-linemen ended up off the board. Again, that is just devastating for us. There's not a single offensive lineman left. So at this point, it's tough to say who to go for. Let's see. Jean-Pierre here is fairly well-rounded, but not going to be anything special. A third corner would be ideal. Carroll has a ridiculous vert jump and strength. The 40 dime is there, but as a slot option, he doesn't really have the agility to keep up. Jamar Pasinger is okay. I mean, again, the issue with Spillman is just the speed. The agility is okay, but the vert jump was also pretty low, too. Persinger doesn't have a very good jump. What about Basman Camp? Hello. Okay, that's not a terrible option. You know what? I'm going to go with Campbell here. We do need a third corner. I'd rather take him than a wide receiver at this point. Screw it. Let's see what we have. 72 at 21 years old, so there's a chance he can go up to quick development. He's our third. Wow, did you see those sideburns? Beautiful. He is our third option at corner, just to provide a little bit of depth after our plans were ultimately affected due to a lot of jumping up in the draft board. So right now, I mean, a wide receiver, a tight end, a defensive tackle. There's not a whole lot of options here. Gonna take out Jean-Pierre. Gonna take out Carroll. Who was that linebacker? LaMarcus Rogers. Yikes. No thanks. No thanks. There was somebody here, the set of defensive tackles. Rashad Matthews. As a speed rusher, not horrific, but he's 24. He's not going to get that much better. Walker Roby is fairly well-rounded. Not going to be anything special, though. And Beatty at 22 at least has the power and the power moves. It's not too bad. Alright, I'd say Beatty would be worth taking. Again, there wasn't anybody else in the offensive line. There should be a wide receiver afterwards. Let's go for the defensive tackle. Kawan Beatty. Why not? Try to bolster up that defensive depth. I can't believe all those offensive linemen went. 73 overall at 22 years old. Again, solid pick in terms of draft analysis. I'll take it. We needed a little bit of depth just in case. 2 rounds left, though. I have no idea who the hell we're going to take. Plans obviously changed. Thanks a lot, San Francisco. They kept screwing us over. We have nobody left on the draft board. Okay, so it is time to play everyone's favorite game show, Just Fucking Guess. That's the name of the game. Fucking take your best shot, guess, and hope for the best. Damn, we don't need a kicker. I'm mainly looking at combine scores and player position here, just to see if there is anybody, but I expect this to be terrible. Shout out to Riley Smeenge. Solid name there, Mr. Smeenge. To be honest, I might take a kicker just to see if someone's better than Rasmussen. You have Jamin Ellis with 2 S's for no reason whatsoever, but a 6.9 rating, and it's just because of a strong bench. So nothing great there. Nice rating, but nothing that's going to help us out all that much. Is there anybody else who's approaching a 7 in terms of the combine results? Shout out to Long Livingston as well. More than likely, we're wasting our time here. I don't expect anybody to be all that good, admittedly, but we'll still take a look. Why not? Howard at a 6.5. Absolutely not. Get out of here. Yeah, this is going to be bad. This is going to be bad. There's not going to be 6.6 for Julius Craig. Decent speed and agility. I mean, again, I expect him to be outright terrible, but you never know. I think we take him, and then we take a kicker or a punter in the 7th round, even though we don't necessarily need one. Maybe somehow they're better than who we have already, or at least have a decent potential, and we take it from there. But yeah, this is rough, especially with how often the AI GMs are, going off the board with these picks. Didn't expect them to. Dalton Simon not looking that great. No Combine Beasts at the end here. Nothing. No Combine Beast who's not expected to be drafted. No chance for a steal here. Come on, guys. I'm just trying to be thorough. Reward me for my efforts, please. Sam Huff at fullback. I might take a fullback for the hell of it. I know we took one recently. Dion Farmer. Also not that bad. It's either I take a random-ass wide receiver, or I take a fullback and then either a kicker and a punter. So, who do we have at fullback? There's actually a lot of them. There's a ton of them. 6'5", with Tucker Hackett. Screw it, Tucker Hackett. 73. Cool. Nothing amazing, though. Absolutely brutal. And I'm tempted to take a linebacker here, but maybe with Beatty we move somebody else back to linebacker for a little bit of depth. Unless there's not a kicker or a punter available. Let's see. What do we have? So we have Tuten and Rasmussen. Who do we want to go for here? Who would we prefer to get rid of? I actually can't think of who the higher rated one is. I think it's Tuten. Let's see, 77, 80. Yep, let's go for a kicker. Let's see if we can find someone who's good enough to replace Rasmussen after our plans were very heavily derailed. To the kicker, let's go for 6'1" Grant Frome. He's 23. Jason Halleck is 22. Nick Sturgeon is 21. 5'9", 201 pounds. The battle potato himself, Nicholas Sturgeon. Let's go for Frome. Frome. 75. All right, he's not going to replace Rasmussen, unfortunately, but was worth a shot. If the development pattern was anything, it might have happened for us. But overall, not a bad draft until the end where it just fell off the rails, but it clearly fell off the rails for every other team. Wilson, Ross, and Ramirez, all very strong picks, very strong additions to the team. As far as how everything else went, are there any names? Any names that I am overly interested in? I believe Mike Marshall finished second in voting. 78 quick at 21. And, yeah, I mean, I don't even, I gotta admit, I don't even care to know how good the other offensive linemen were that we missed out on. I don't really care to know. I think we're fine. I'd rather focus on who we have rather than who we potentially could have had. As George Christie gets an upgrade point here before the start of the season. He is up to an 81. Now, the good thing is we really don't have to change too much about this squad. I'll have to bring in a little bit of depth. But overall, we're looking good. I'll be back in 1 second when the team is finalized. All right, we are back. Let's get a look at your 2024-2025 Arizona Cardinals, sitting at a lovely, astounding 75 overall, 79 offense, 77 defense, of course, leading the way up top. The big concern right now is that Noah Anderson's not healthy still. He's out for 18 more weeks, which is absolutely brutal with that PCL tear. So ideally he would be in. It's going to be Price instead. But that O-line is looking much, much stronger. And here, we'll actually give you the look. So, of course, Joey McCormick is our quarterback. Our running back, Reynaud, is the main man that we're still trying to develop. Of course, third down back is Hughes. Captain-wise, let me know down in the comments. I keep forgetting to do that. I don't even know if it matters, really. Tucker Hackett's actually our fullback, so he's won that position at the very least over Weaver, who has been released. Wide receiver-wise, it's Wilson, Mack, Farrell, and Jenkins. Tight end-wise, we have all three of them, Marshall, Bentley, and Miles Bates. The O-line, we still have Schuleter on left tackle, which is probably not for the best. He's been a bit of a turnstile, but he is the best left tackle option we have on the team. Again, Price will be in for Noah Anderson, who's out for the year. So it's a good thing that we picked up Blake Ramirez, because we're certainly going to need him. Ofenheulse has been moved from center to right guard, and Quinn Kropog is still in. Talk about turnstiles. Demetrios Brooks at left end starting. Trapp, of course, is the backup. Trey Gilmore at right end. George Christie, Harmon Seamster, and Kawan Beatty at defensive tackle. Linebackers, Nolan, looking pretty good at this point at a 74. Darby Klemm at an 83. BJ Long at 71. Frank King at an 83 as well. We still have the dominant corner duo of Meyer and Cole. And the safeties looking much better too now. Griffith and AJ Ross. The kicker is Grant Frome. We have let go of Rasmussen, and Bruce Tuten still the punter for this team. We are good to go. We are going to sim week by week to the start of the regular season, just in case we end up getting those upgrade points, and there we go. We are going to sim the first game of the season, maybe a little bit more in this episode. Decent improvements there for one Barry Bentley. Don't expect him to be that great. That's certainly not a focal point of the team in terms of two-star tight ends, as we also picked up an injury this week. But Meyer and Griffith, big upgrade points there. Meyer makes it up to an 87, which is great. Again, talked about the threat that we had there at corner. And Griffith, let's see, will you make it up to an 82? Yes, you will. Good stuff overall, as the defense has really started to take shape. Hopefully in this next draft we can get a little bit more O-line help that we desperately need, as it is Jamal Mosley, who is not actually ours. He just fills out a spot on the roster. So that was best case scenario, to not lose anybody of extreme importance. So we ended up beating Green Bay as well. More upgrade points. Jarman Trapp, who is actually ours. Don't expect him to be that great, but he makes it up to a 67, which is pretty damn helpful. Solid stuff there for the 24-year-old. And there was another injury, was there not? There is. Don't be important. It's Antoine McIntosh. He's out for 5 weeks. Thankfully, not a starter at this point, but that does hurt the depth in case we suffer an injury to one of our two starters. Fingers crossed that doesn't happen. And indeed it doesn't. We start off this season against the Vikings at home. Let's see what we can do. The game plan, as we're actually both 75 rated, so this should hopefully be a win. It's one of the weaker teams we'll face all season. The game plan for this season is the same as last year's, although hopefully it proves to be worth it to stick to the plan for a little bit longer. We are going to go week by week, game by game, and see what happens for the team. Again, not exactly proven, I don't believe, but it does seem as though we do get more upgrade points consistently when we at least go into the game, even if we don't play it. Whether or not that's true or not, don't know, but that's what it's always seemed like since we brought Madden to the channel. So let's see what we can do here. The team, get the ball first. I believe in you. Through the first quarter we go. Can we get anything going? Vikings on the board first, and the score will hold at the end of the quarter. Let's go to halftime. We get the first touchdown of this game, 7-3. Minnesota responds in kind, 10 unanswered points to end the quarter. Rough. Let's go through the third. Need to get our offense going, man. We're capable of more than just 7 points in a game, aren't we? 16-7, and the offense has no-showed this thus far. There we go, an immediate touchdown. I'll take that. Let's just go change of possession as Minnesota makes it a 9-point game. We need the offense to show up again here. He ended up getting a response touchdown. We get a field goal out of it, 23-17. We need a major stop from the defense, and we get it. Beautifully done. 5.5 minutes left, and an opportunity to take the lead if we can make this happen. We throw it away on first down, throw it away on second down. I'm going to go change a possession here because that is apparently the way to struggle. And it's an immediate punt. Absolutely brutal. Can the defense get a stop? They can. 1:51 remaining. Is there a late winning drive on the books? McCormick throws it away. The O-line has to be struggling. That's the only explanation. McCormick throws it away again. 3rd and 10. Huge completion to Mack for 24 yards. And we'll still keep it here for the moment. 1st and 10 from the 49. And McCormick is sacked. Frantanzi Doolittle. Absolute monster. McCormick's pass is knocked down. It's 3rd and 18 from the 41. I mean, it's a 9-point game, so it's all but over, but we'll still watch this play. It's 3rd and 18. You never know. We might pull off a quick miracle here. McCormick goes deep to a wide open Mack, and we have ourselves a game. How do you like that? Mack. Beautifully done. It's a 3-point game out of nowhere. We do have all 3 timeouts as well. We might have something here. Don't go anywhere just yet. Mack with that explosive speed. 59-yard touchdown on the 3rd and 18 attempt. Absolutely beautiful. We'll see what happens here. Did we go for 2? We did not. We just took the extra point. Smart move. All right. The question is with the onside kick. Can we recover it? We cannot. The defense needs to show up here. 1st and 10, a 2-yard rush for Mabane. That wastes a timeout. 4-yard rush here. It's 3rd and 3 from the 20. A stop here would give us a chance somehow, some way. If we fall short, this game's over. Varga hands it over, a cut back inside, and that will do it. A great effort down the stretch, but too little too late from the offense, and we are going to drop this game to Minnesota in week 1. And I can't help but think, I mean, I'm not sure how many times McCormick would have been sacked, but I'm sure if we were able to see, quarterback hurries, it would be bad. Decent comeback attempt, but too little too late. Let's take a look here. So McCormick, 19 of 43. Jesus, we threw the ball a lot. 280 yards, 2 touchdowns. Unfortunately, again, you can't really see whether or not he was rushed from there. Speaking of rushing, Reynaud had a decent game with a rushing touchdown. Hughes got 10 carries as well. Receiving-wise, I mean, Mack led the way with receptions. 4 receptions for Wilson in his first ever game. Touchdowns, though, for Bentley and Mack. Not bad. Blocking-wise, yeah, we gave up 3 sacks. The offensive line, again, had some major issues. Now, I got to admit, the offensive line that we have right now still probably isn't the worst offensive line I've seen. I mean, if you think back to that Bills series, if you watched it, if you didn't, go watch it. There were some playoff teams that we came up against in Buffalo that had god-awful offensive lines that managed to beat us in the playoffs. As Campbell led the way in terms of tackles, which really concerns me. But not bad for the rookie. We had a couple of sacks that game ourselves. Just wasn't enough. Hopefully we don't have an injury to one of the 2 major corners, though. It concerns me that Campbell is playing that much, but with him being the 3rd option, I guess it's to be expected. Darby Klemm with the skill point. Let's see if he makes it up to an 84. He will. Absolute beast. And we know he's even better as an outside linebacker, playing him in the middle by necessity. 12th rated middle linebacker. He would absolutely then be top 10 as an outside linebacker, I would assume. At least. Oh boy. Not to who I thought it would be to. It was to Trapp. So another depth player. It's not the worst case scenario, I suppose. I just don't know when he would have been on the field to be injured. It's just really weird. We end up hosting New England here in week 2. Oh, man, and I got to change something. with the offensive line. That's quite clear. I just don't know where the hell to move these players around, and it might not even matter, right? But maybe, just maybe, I don't want to move Ramirez to the outside, right? But what if we swap Ofenheulse with Schuleter? Can't do that just yet here. Winterswijk. We'll move him over there. Go back to right guard. And let's see, Schuleter, let's move him to the inside. And we'll move Ofenheulse to tackle. And we'll see, just maybe mixing things up a little bit will help. Maybe. I doubt it, but it's worth a shot at this point, right? Hopefully. Kropog, this is a tough one because Price is technically a starter. So Quinn Kropog, I think we're also going to move to the inside. We'll move him over there. Left guard, Quinn Kropog. And we'll see if that helps at all. Obviously, that injury to Anderson doesn't help, as that's forcing us to play Price. But we'll move Ofenheulse and Kropog in the middle. And for whatever reason, let's play Price on the outside. I don't expect that to go well, but why not? Throw something at the wall, see if it sticks. That is the squad that we are going to run into week 2. Might sim the first 3 games. I accidentally simmed it. Knew I hit the wrong button. We end up losing to New England 17-14. Shit. Schuleter, though, gets a skill point, so I'll take it. That'll bump him up to a 79 overall. So, whoops. That's not the first time that's happened. Where just, I think instinctually, I always go to just, advanced week. Mainly because it's just a habit from Twitch and everything, even though I haven't streamed the game a ton lately. Meyer, Mack, and others have contracts to worry about. Meyer is signed instantly. Beautiful. Jamius Mack, will you accept the first offer? Beautiful. And Schuleter, not yet, but soon. Your time will come. So as a matter of fact, we will indeed be simming all 3 games. We're 0-2 on the season. If we lose to the Rams here, then more than likely, I'll just sim to the... I mean, I don't even know if I'll outright sim to the postseason. Maybe, if we beat the Rams, which hopefully we do, we'll go along, and if we continue to struggle, then so be it, right? But yeah, if we lose, the next episode might be a shorter one for the sake of being able to get to the draft and just having it be like the end of season recap, stuff like that. So... it's a pretty big game against the Rams. It was another close one against New England. We're on the road for the first time. Let's see what we can do. We are heavily outmatched, which isn't really a surprise, but the last time we were heavily outmatched against the Rams, we won, if I'm not totally mistaken, which I don't believe I am. So we have that going for us, right? There's a history. Kind of. God, McCormick's throwing the ball quite a few times at this point. Quite a few. Oh boy. All right, we need a big performance here. We need a big performance here from the squad. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Let's get that first win of the year in Los Angeles. Through the first quarter we go. Rams strike first with a touchdown. We respond in kind. 7-all. At the end of the opening 15 minutes, the Rams with another touchdown. We respond yet again. A couple of unanswered points. It ends up being 17-all at halftime. Let's see what happens here through the third. The Rams strike yet again, 24-17, now 24-all. We have the ball at the 9. Great opportunity to take the lead, and indeed we do. Only a field goal, though, 27-24 in this shootout against the Rams. We'll see what they can do on this drive, and the answer is absolutely nothing. And it's a huge opportunity for the offense here to put the pressure on. They get another field goal. I'll take it. 6.5 left, up by 6. Let's see what the Rams can do on this drive. Again, they are forced to punt, and points here would all but secure the victory against the Rams. And that is exactly what's going to happen. Not only that, we took 5 minutes off the clock, 33-24. Yet again, we are going to beat a team that we should not. The Cardinals get their first win of the season. The Rams lose like they're going to lose to Tom Brady on Sunday. It's a great day. It's a great day. McCormick, 25 of 37, 2 touchdowns and a pick, 316 yards on the day. Reynaud, ton of carries, but obviously the yards per a little bit low. He ends up getting the touchdown, though. Receiving-wise, Vincent Wilson led the way in terms of receptions. I love this receiving core. Marshall up there as well at tight end. 2 touchdowns for the rookie, Vincent Wilson. Blocking-wise, Schuleter and Ofenheulse, the only 2 allowed. Defensively, Meyer leads the way. No sacks in that game, but we did have the interception. Le'Veon Cole. Kicking-wise, Grant Frome had quite a bit of work to do, but the rookie goes 4 for 4 and seals the deal. The Arizona Cardinals beat the LA Rams. I'll take it. I will take it, and that makes things a lot more interesting heading into the next episode, as we will continue to go week by week until it is quite clear that it's no longer worth it because we're simply not going to compete. Hopefully, though, eventually we'll get to the point where week by week makes all the sense in the world. So that will do it. Again, sorry for the wait in between, but I can't help when I get sick. It is what it is. Thank you for watching and supporting this series, and until next time. Also, remember, make sure in the comments, I have the full team listed there in case you were ever wondering. Don't forget, until next time, have a good one, and I'll see you then.